West African history. Samoure Toure and the Mandika Empire. Samoure Toure and the Mandika Empire. He was the founder of the Mandika Empire. He was born in around 1830 from a poor and non-Muslim family, but he later became a Muslim. How did Samoure Toure build his Mandika Empire? Through conquering the neighboring states, e.g. Humajugu. He used Islam as a tool of unity in the Mandika. He built a SDR-4 army which protected and expanded the empire. He created friendship with the British in Sierra Leone, who supplied him with arms against the French. He built his own gunnery which produced his own guns and repaired the old ones. He provided an effective system of administration. He fought tribalism and promoted national loyalty. He used diplomacy and trickery on the Europeans, i.e. British, and the French. 9. He encouraged trade by removing custom charges on small states. He encouraged education based on Islamic principles, even in conquered areas. He had a good spy network against his enemies using dueler. He imported guns from the coast which he used to equip his army. He created a stable judiciary system using the Sharia laws, which solved all the conflict. He promoted agriculture to feed the army and the population. Why did Samoure Toure conflict with the French from 1891-1898? He wanted to defend the independence of the Mandika. He wanted to protect Islamic religion since the French. West African history. Samoure Toure and the Mandika Empire. Long. He wanted to protect the Mandika culture against the French. The French colonial rule was harsh and oppressive, hence could not accept them. He wanted to defend the Mandika line against the French. He was annoyed by the French when they blocked the importation of arms into his empire. Toure's willingness to hand over his empire to the British. Then the French annoyed them and led to war. Samoure Toure's invasion of Sissoko, which was under the French, led to fighting. The French propaganda about the Bisanjigu Treaty of 1886, that he had officially given them the Mandika Empire. Why was Samoure Toure defeated by the French? False foreign assistance, i.e. by the British crews Tokola to fight the but later left him alone. The resistance against the whites in some places, i.e. Assange, via Samoure Toure defeated by the French. He lacked the support of African leaders, hence fought alone. He lacked powerful weapons like the French, i.e. Maxim gun. The arms embargo by the Europeans into West Africa affected Toure. The cooperation that later developed between the British and the French affected Toure, i.e. his retreat to the east was later blocked by the British. Toure lost the gold field which used to give him a lot of revenue. The scorched earth policy used by the French led to Toure's defeat. Slave trade, i.e. selling, becomes unpopular and lacks support. West African history. Samoure Toure and the Mandika Empire. The period was for colonization and therefore the French were determined to conquer the Mandika. The French army was well trained in the ill-trained Mandika army. The Mandika Empire was economically poor and could not finance the war to success. The use of divide and conquer policy, i.e. the French got the support of the Congo, Sokoso against Samoure Toure. French used propaganda, i.e. that they wanted to liberate the Mandika from the dictatorship of Samoure Toure, which made him lack support. Non-Muslims in his empire supported the French against him. This was because of his hatred of non-Muslims. He had no mountains and forests to hide as the Mandika land was open and flat. Why was Samoure Toure able to resist the French for so long? He had a strong standing army. His diplomacy and tricking, i.e. got the support of the British. His military battles, i.e. avoided pitched battles and used small engagements. He used scorched earth policy, hence making the British to suffer. He imported guns from Freetown in Sierra Leone. He had enough food supply to feed the army in the early stage. He had his own gunnery that produced and repaired guns. The Mandika was united during the war. He divided the army into 3 groups which led to his long resistance. He had a sound income in the early stage, i.e. gold, hence financed the war. West African history. Samoure Toure and the Mandika Empire. Long resistance. Toure's personality, i.e. courageous and good in organization, led to his long resistance. Islamic unity among the Mandika, the jeweler traders, despite for him among the French. The tropical climate was harsh on the French fighters, hence his resistance for long. The Bisanjigu peace treaty enabled him to resist for long, as the French now believes that Toure was handing over the empire to them.